Okay, today we are going to talk about microscope. Now, what is a microscope? It is an optical instrument. An optical instrument. What it is used for? It is used to make large image of a close and minute object. Okay, if you have a very small object which you find difficult to see with your naked eye, then you use a microscope. Okay, the microscope forms a large image of a close and minute object. Okay, but before we start with microscope, we have to learn about a few terms. The first term is power of accommodation. What it is? Your eye. Okay, your eye. This is the pupil of your eye. Here is the lens. And this is the retina, the screen on which the image is formed. Okay, so this is the lens of your eye, and the lens of your eye is fixed in its position through muscles. Now this lens of your eye is a convex lens, and it has the power to increase or decrease its focal length. Okay, now a human eye can see objects till infinity. But the point infinity is a relative term. Okay, it can be 10 meters, it can be 1000 miles. A human eye can see objects till infinity. And when a human eye is seeing object at infinity, it is said to be in the relaxed state. The eye is said to be in the relaxed state. Okay, like you don't find any strain on the muscles of your eye when you see a distant object. Okay, so there is no tension in the muscles of your eye is in the relaxed state. This point infinity is called the far point. Now, when your eye is in the relaxed state, the radius of curvature of the lens is minimum. Okay, the lens becomes thinner. The radius of curvature of the lens is minimum, and the focal length is maximum. Okay, now if you bring the object closer and closer to the eye, then you will find that there is strain or tension is developing in the muscles of your eye as you are bringing the object closer and closer. Like for example, for a far off point, I am taking the example of moon. When you see the moon, your eye is in the relaxed state. You don't have any tension in the muscles of your eye. Okay, in this case the focal length of the lens is maximum. But when you have to thread a needle, you cannot keep the needle at a distant point. You have to keep the needle closer to the eye. So when you bring the needle closer to the eye, then there is a contraction in the muscles of the eye, thereby increasing the radius of curvature of the lens. The radius of curvature of the lens increases, and the focal length of the lens decreases. So here the focal length is maximum. So there are two cases. Cases of moon when it is at infinity, and cases of threading a needle when it is closer to the eye. So the focal length is increasing at times, and the focal length is decreasing at some other time. Okay, so here the focal length is decreasing. Okay, radius of curvature is large, focal length becomes less. Radius of curvature is small, focal length is high. Okay, so this power of changing the focal length of a lens is called power of accommodation. So what is power of accommodation? Power of changing focal length of the lens of the eye is called the power of accommodation. Okay. Now, as I have told you, the eye can see objects. A normal human adult eye can see objects till infinity. Okay. Now, as you are bringing the object closer and closer, take the example of threading a needle. You cannot keep it at a larger distance from your eye. You have to bring it closer and closer. So you will be able to see the needle distinctly and big. Distinctly, that is clearly and big, at a certain distance from the eye. If you bring the needle still closer to the eye at a distance less than d, then the needle will get blurred. You won't be able to see the needle distinctly. This distance d is called the least distance of distinct vision for the eye. So least distance of distinct vision is the nearest distance between the object and the eye up to which the eye can see the object clearly or distinctly by applying the maximum power of accommodation, by contracting the muscles and increasing the radius of curvature and decreasing its focal length. Okay, this point at which the eye can see the object distinctly is called the near point. Okay, and this distance d is called the least distance of distinct vision. Least distance of distinct vision. So what is least distance of distinct vision? It is the nearest distance up between the object and the eye up to which the eye can see the object distinctly. How it can see the object distinctly? It is moving closer, so by applying maximum power of accommodation. Maximum power, okay, let me fold this. By applying maximum power of accommodation. What do you mean by applying maximum power of accommodation? By increasing the radius of curvature of the lens or decreasing the focal length of the lens. Okay, this distance d for a normal adult human eye is 25 centimeter. So at a distance less than 25 centimeter, if you keep an object, the object cannot be seen distinctly. Okay. Whereas at 25 centimeter, the object will appear big and will be seen most distinctly. Okay. Now, there is a term called visual angle. Okay. So, what is this visual angle? It is the angle subtended by an object at the eye. Angle subtended by an object at the eye. Now, if I talk about size of an object, is there any particular size of an object? Can you say the size of an object is this much? It is so big or so small? You cannot say that. Why you cannot say it? Because if the object is far away from you, the object will appear smaller. If the object is nearer to you, the object will appear bigger. So you cannot say that the object is too small, the object is too big, or the object is big or small. Okay, it is a relative term. Okay, so if you have to talk about size of an object, you have to talk about the angle the object is subtending at the eye. Okay, suppose you are having an object, okay, and you are having your eye here. This is your eye. This is the retina. You are having an object. Okay. Now this object is subtending a visual angle this much here. Whatever visual angle an object subtend at the eye, depending on that we see the size of the object. Now the same object, if you bring closer to the eye, it will subtend a larger visual angle at the retina. Larger visual angle passing to the same point, it will subtend a, it's because I'm holding the camera in one hand. That's why this is the problem. For this object, this is the visual angle. Okay. This is the visual angle for this object AB. And for the same object which is brought closer to the eye, the visual angle increases. This is now the visual angle. This is now the visual angle. Okay. So it is the visual, and this is the eye, of course. So it is the visual angle which when increases the image of the object. The image is formed on the retina. This is the retina, the screen on which the image is formed. So when the visual angle increases, the image of the object increases. Image of the same object increases because the visual angle has increased. So the same object when brought closer to the eye is subtending a larger visual angle. The same object when moved away from the eye is subtending a smaller visual angle. Understood? Now if the object is kept at a distance d, then it will subtend a visual angle such that it can be seen distinctly. And it can be seen big and distinctly, most distinctly. And if it is less than d, then the image will get blurred. Okay. So visual angle is this, but if I am keeping the object at d, I bring the object more close and close and I keep it at d. Okay. I keep it, suppose this distance between the eye and the object is d. I cannot bring it closer than that because the object will get blurred. So for this, I'm getting the maximum visual angle. The maximum visual angle I'm getting for this distance. Okay, the maximum visual angle. Let me draw this. For this, I'm getting the maximum visual angle. Okay, or this is the first visual angle, this is the second visual angle, and this is the third visual angle. Okay, this is the first, this is the second, and this is the third. The third one is the largest, you can see. The third one is the largest when it is kept at a distance d from the eye, when the object is at a distance d from the eye. This is the eye. Okay. So third visual angle is the largest. It is formed by this. When the same object, okay, the same object, it is the same object. Same object is kept at d. So when the same object is kept at d, it is subtending a largest visual angle and it can be seen distinctly. It can still subtend larger visual angle, but it won't be seen distinctly if the object is moved closer than d or a distance less than d. Okay. So, but I am not very happy with this size of the visual angle or this size of the image formed on the retina or the size of the object that I am seeing by keeping the object at d, because the object is very minute. I suppose I am just making a dot over here. The more I close and close, I go to the dot and I keep my eye at d, but still I am not happy to see and want to see it more big. What can I do? What can I do? So I am saying that I am keeping an object and this is my eye. Okay. I'm keeping an object at d from the eye, and it is subtending a visual angle, a large visual angle, but still I want to see this object AB more bigger. So what can I do? I can put a lens in between the object and my eye. Okay, I can put a lens in between the object and my eye such that this lens makes an erect image of the object. Erect image, erect, virtual, erect and magnified. There is a case of convex lens where a convex lens makes a virtual, erect and magnified image. We will come to that. So I keep a convex lens between this object and the eye such that this convex lens makes a virtual, erect and magnified image of this object. So this magnified image will subtend a larger visual angle at the eye. Oh, what did I do? This magnified image will subtend this magnified image. This is the image subtended by the, and this magnified image will subtend a larger, this magnified image will subtend a larger visual angle at the retina of the eye. This is the retina, a larger visual angle. Okay, and the visual angle becoming large means we will see the size of the object to be large, which says that the size of the object is directly proportional to visual angle. So this is the function of a microscope. You place the microscope between the object and your eye such that the microscope forms a magnified image of the object. Then the object will appear bigger because the magnified image will subtend a larger visual angle at the eye. Now there is a case, and I want to do it now only, that suppose this is the object and it is subtending a visual angle like this at the eye. Here is the eye, okay? It is subtending a visual angle at the eye. Now, if I put a lens, okay, and I bring the object, I shift the position of the object should always be between F and O, focus and optical center of the lens. We will do that in details. So we shift the object closer to the lens, okay, such that its image forms at D. Then it will be seen the most distinctly. First, what we have done, we have kept the object at D and it is seen most distinctly by the eye. Now we have inserted the convex lens and we shift the position of the object such that the image is formed at the least distance of distinct vision. Least distance of distinct vision from the eye. This is the D. This is D. At least distance of distinct vision. This is D. Okay. Then the image will be seen most distinctly. I repeat once again. This is the case without the lens, where I have taken an object and the object is kept at D. Then the object will be seen most distinctly. Now I inserted lens between the object and the eye. I shift the position of the object closer to the lens such that the image is formed at D. Now the image that is seen by the eye is the most distinct image, because most distinct image is formed at D. Or most distinct image of an object, an eye sees the object most distinctly at D. So if the image of the object is formed at D by the convex lens, if the image, you may write down, if the image of the object is formed at D by the convex lens, then the image will be seen most distinctly. Okay. Okay, now having done till here, we are going to do simple microscope. Now simple microscope, I have already told you what is a microscope. It is an optical instrument and it is used to make large images of small and or minute and close objects. Now a simple microscope is nothing but a convex lens or a magnifying glass. You must have seen magnifying glass used to read in the vernier scale in the labs, okay, used by jewelers or the watchmakers. They use magnifying glass, okay, to see the minute objects inside the watch. Okay, so it's a simple microscope is nothing but a magnifying glass with a handle. Okay, how does it work? It works like you have a convex lens and this is the principal axis. Here is the optical center of the lens. This is the first focus. This is the first focus. This is the second focus. Did I make it at the same distance? Okay, whatever. This is the second focus. Okay, and I'm keeping the object in between the focus, first focus and optical center of the lens. Okay, then a parallel ray of light parallel to the principal axis will pass through the second focal point and a ray of light through the optical center will pass undeviated. Okay, always with arrows. Without arrows, the rays doesn't carry any meaning. Okay, so you see, these two rays are diverging rays. They will never meet. So when produced backwards, they form a virtual, the image is virtual, erect and magnified. Okay, so they form a virtual, erect and magnified image. And here is the eye. The eye has to be closer to the lens. Okay, now this, if this distance from the image to the eye is equal to d, if this distance is equal to d, then the magnification is the maximum. We will talk about magnification. First write down. The first point is the object should be placed between F and O. Okay. Second point is the image produced. This is the second point. And the third point is the object, the position of the object should be such that the image is formed at least distance of distinct vision from the eye. At least distance of distinct vision, that is D, from the eye. Now this third condition is a special case. This is the case of maximum magnification, maximum magnifying power. Okay, so let us find out the magnifying power of a simple microscope. What is the formula for magnifying power? It is the angle subtended by the image. Okay, I fold the copy. The angle subtended by the image at the eye. It is the ratio of the angle subtended by the image at the eye, the visual angle, okay? Angle means the visual angle. You remember the visual angle we have just done? The visual angle subtended by the image at the eye to the visual angle subtended by the object at the unaided or naked eye, at the unaided eye at D, placed at D, placed at D. Very important to remember this formula. What is magnifying power? How much the object is getting magnified. How much the object is getting magnified. So it is said it is the visual angle subtended by the image at the eye. What is the visual angle subtended by the image at the eye? Here is the image. So what angle it is subtending? This angle is, say this is beta. Okay, this angle is beta, say. By the visual angle subtended by the object at the unaided eye. So you take the object again here, this object I'm taking again here, and the angle subtended by the object at the unaided eye without the lens. Unaided eye means without the lens. Suppose I'm taking the object AB, I'm taking the image A prime B prime. So visual angle subtended by the object at the unaided eye placed at D, placed at D. The object should be placed at D from the eye. Okay. So whatever angle whatever maximum, however distinctly and bigger you are seeing the object without the lens, with the help of the lens, how many times bigger you are seeing that object is the magnifying power of the lens. You are seeing it most distinctly and biggest at D when the object is placed at D without the lens. Now with the help of the lens, how many times bigger you are seeing that object. That is the magnifying power, because more the visual angle, more is the size of the image. More is the visual angle, more is the size of the image. Size of the image is directly proportional to visual angle. Isn't it? We have done it just now. So from here, it is, So from here, see, visual angle. So it is beta. So it is beta by alpha. Isn't it? Beta by alpha. Now beta, you can see this object that we see with the help of a magnifying glass are very small objects. So for very small objects, they will subtend very small angle. Isn't it? For very small objects, they will subtend, like the object is like this. So it will subtend very small angle. So when the object is subtending very small angle, then beta becomes small. And when beta is small, beta is equal to tan beta. Similarly, the object here, AB, is small and it is subtending a very small angle at the eye. So alpha is equal to tan alpha. Now tan beta, from here, tan beta is given by, you tell me, tan beta is perpendicular by base. Perpendicular is A prime, B prime, base is A prime, O. Is this also tan beta from this triangle? So can I write it AB by AO? So let us write tan beta as AB by AO. AB by AO. Simultaneously you take it down, otherwise it will be difficult for you to understand. Okay, what is tan alpha? Alpha is the visual angle subtended at the unaided eye without the lens when the object is at a distance D from the eye. So what is tan alpha? Tan alpha is AB by D. AB by D. So magnifying power is beta by alpha. So magnifying power will be beta by alpha, that is AB by AO by AB by D, or that is equal to AB gets cancelled, D by AO. What is this AO? This is equal to the object distance. The object is placed at a distance U from the optical center of the lens, that is the object distance U. So can I write as D by U? That is the formula for magnifying power. Very important. This is the formula for magnifying power of a simple microscope. And there are two cases to it. case 1. When you want maximum magnification, or for normal use, what do we do? We want maximum magnification, right? So for maximum magnification, or maximum magnifying power, or for normal use, normal adjustment, clear vision, whatever you call it, okay, for maximum magnification or normal adjustment or for clear vision, okay, so when it has to be seen distinctly, then the distance of the image from the eye should be at least distance of distinct vision. This third point, the position of the object is so adjusted between it is moved closer and closer to the optical center, such that the image is formed at a distance d from the eye. Then only you will be able to see the image distinctly and the biggest. Image is formed, if the image is formed here, it will be still seen distinctly, but it will not be as big because it will not be subtending the equal visual angle. The visual angle will be the biggest when it is here, still bigger when it is here, but then the image will get blurred. So the image will be seen distinctly when it is here. So I want the image to be seen distinctly. I want it to be formed at a distance d from the eye. For that, I'm shifting the object from its position d. It was previously kept at d. So from its position d, I'm shifting the object closer and closer to the lens, such that the image is formed at d. Okay, so for maximum magnification, the image distance should be equal to, see, the image is formed on the left side at minus x-axis, so minus d, v equal to minus d. What is u? U equal to minus u, okay, and f equal to f. So use the lens maker's formula, 1 by v minus 1 by u equal to 1 by f. 1 by minus d plus 1 by u equal to 1 by f, or 1 by u equal to 1 by f plus 1 by d, or d by u multiplying both sides with d, d by f plus 1, or 1 plus d by f. So in the place of d by u, I am putting, for maximum magnification, I am putting 1 plus d by f. This is the formula for maximum magnification. This is nothing. This is the formula for maximum magnification, okay, 1 plus d by f. Now this magnifying power of a simple microscope you have to memorize or keep it in mind. We will require it later while doing compound microscope for the eyepiece. The eyepiece acts as a simple microscope. Okay, so remember this, m equal to d by u. Okay, and the same maximum magnification of the eyepiece, because it is the magnification of eyepiece that will change, and not the magnification of the objective lens in the compound microscope. We will do it slowly, but what I'm trying to tell you is remember this formula. M equal to magnifying power of a simple microscope is d by u, and the maximum magnifying power of a simple microscope is 1 plus d by f. Because when we get maximum magnifying power, when the image distance is at a distance d from the eye. Okay, u equal to minus u, we know on the negative x-axis the distances are measured in a minus sign. F equal to f, the focal length of the lens, and we use the lens maker's formula and we reach here. Okay, now for relaxed eye, case 2, what shall I do? I'll do it here. For relaxed eye or minimum magnification, okay, the image, where should the image be formed? What did I tell you? An object, okay, the camera has stopped working. Okay, an object can be seen till infinity, and if the object is at infinity, it can be seen with a relaxed eye. So if the image is formed at infinity, then it can be seen with relaxed eye. Okay, So V, the image distance is infinity. The image distance is infinity. Okay, then that is the relaxed position of the eye when the final image is forming at infinity. Okay, object distance is equal to minus u, f equal to f. What are we getting? Use the lens maker's formula. 1 by v minus 1 by u equal to 1 by f. 1 by infinity plus 1 by u, u equal to minus u, so plus 1 by u equal to 1 by f. 1 by infinity is 0, so plus 1 by u equal to 1 by f, so u equal to f. So if u is equal to f, then the minimum magnification will be, or magnification for relaxed eye will be d by f. This is another formula for relaxed eye. So for normal adjustment, maximum magnification 1 plus d by f, and for the relaxed eye, the magnification is d by f. So magnification for simple microscope, magnifying power of simple microscope is d by u. It has two values. For normal eye, normal adjustment, magnifying power is 1 plus d by f. This is m equal to d by u. This is m equal to 1 plus d by f. And this is m equal to d by f for relaxed eye. Next we are going to do compound microscope. Okay, next we are going to talk about compound microscope. Now what is a compound microscope? It consists of two lenses. Okay, two lenses. One lens is of shorter focal length, and is called the objective because it is closer to the object. Okay. And another lens is of larger focal length, okay. This should be thinner, this lens should be thinner, and this should be thicker. Or what did I say? Shorter, yes. This should be thicker and this should be thinner. Now this focal length is, this lens is of larger focal length, okay, because it is, and it is called the eyepiece. This lens is called the eyepiece because it is closer to the eye. Okay, so suppose this is the optical center, and for this lens this is the optical center of the eyepiece, and this is the optical center of the objective. This is the objective lens. Okay, so a compound microscope, it consists of an objective lens, it consists of an eyepiece. The objective lens is of shorter focal length, the eyepiece is of larger focal length. Clear? Now, if this is the optical center, say this is the first focus. It says a small focal length, this is the first focus, FO. Okay, FO prime, say. And this is the second focus, FO. Similarly, for this eyepiece, we will make the focus, but hold on. We are keeping the object here. Fine, AB is the object and we are keeping it beyond the first focus of the objective lens, beyond the first focus of the objective lens. So what will happen? A ray of light parallel to the principal axis will pass through the second focus. Ray of light parallel to the principal axis will pass through the second focus, and a ray of light parallel to the through the optical center of the lens will pass undeviated, and they will meet here, say. They are meeting here to give an inverted image of the object. It should have been here actually. So let the two rays meet here. This is one ray and this is the other ray. Okay, so it is giving a real and inverted image of the object. Okay, The rays should have arrow sign, and you should make the diagram with scale. And this is the real inverted image of the object. Say this is A prime, B prime. Now this image, this object is kept in such a way that the image is formed between the first focus of the eyepiece and the optical center of the eyepiece. Do you remember any such case we have done? Yes, this is the case of a simple microscope. This eyepiece is similar in function to a simple microscope, where the image formed by the objective lens, serves as a virtual object for the eyepiece. Okay, I'm going to make the eyepiece bigger. More big, okay. I have to make the eyepiece more bigger. Okay. Now, what is the next step? Here, the image formed by the objective lens of the object AB serves as a virtual object for the eyepiece. So the rays with the dotted line, there are no actual rays coming out from the virtual object. Okay, so the rays which are parallel to the principal axis are to pass through the second focus. So this is the second focus, are to pass through this, and the rays through the optical center will pass undeviated. So these are diverging rays, they will never meet. So when produced backward, they are going to give a virtual erect and magnified image of the object. Okay, a virtual erect and magnified image, okay, of this virtual object. So this is B double prime, A double prime. Okay, and these two rays, these two rays are actual rays which are coming from this, refracted by the objective lens. Okay, they go like this, and they also meet here when produced backward at this point. Okay, these two rays also meet at this point. So now, have you seen that this eyepiece is behaving like a simple microscope, where the virtual object, is between the first focus and the optical center of the eyepiece, and the image formed of this virtual object is erect and magnified, isn't it, and virtual? Okay. So if this is the case, we are going to find the magnifying power. Now magnifying power we know is beta by alpha, angle subtended by this final image at the eye. Angle subtended, here is the eye, okay. Angle subtended by the final image at the eye is beta. This is beta. By angle subtended by the object at the eye. Angle subtended by the object at the eye. This is the visual angle subtended by the image at the eye by angle subtended by the object AB at the eye, at the unaided eye, without the convex lens, without the microscope. So this is alpha when it is kept at D, when the object is kept at D. Remember alpha? Do you remember alpha? That it is the visual angle subtended by the object at the eye when the object is kept at D. It will remain the same, the definition will remain the same. So beta is very small. We know that we are seeing say plant cells under a compound microscope in your lab, in your bio lab. You are seeing plant cells under a compound microscope, whatever you are seeing. Okay, so beta is equal to tan beta, alpha is equal to tan alpha. So find out tan beta from here. What it is? A double prime B double prime by A double prime E. This is E. Who was written? This is E. E is the optical center of this lens, eyepiece. So A double prime B double prime by A double prime E. Can I write it? Can I take this triangle for beta? And can I write A prime B prime by A prime E? So can I write A prime B prime by A prime E? And for tan alpha, what is it? Tan alpha AB by D, as easy as that. So ultimately what it is becoming? I bring it here. It is becoming A prime B prime by A prime E into D will go up by AB. A prime B prime by A prime E into D by AB. I write it here again. A prime B prime by A prime E into D by AB. Can I write this? Can I arrange this and write A prime B prime by AB into D by A prime E? Now see here. What is A prime B prime by AB? What is A prime B prime by AB? A prime B prime is the height of the image. AB is the height of the object. What it is? Height of the image formed by the objective lens. Height of the object in front of the objective lens. So it is the magnification. Magnification, a linear magnification, means height of the image by height of the object. So height of the image by height of the object, and this is the image formed by the objective lens. So A prime B prime by AB is giving the magnification of the objective lens. So can I write it here? MO into D by A prime E. D by A prime E is equal to UE, the object distance, the distance of the virtual object from the optical center of the eyepiece. Distance of the virtual object from the optical center of the eyepiece is UE. Isn't it object distance? So by UE. Now, do you remember D by UE? Have we done it anywhere? D by U. D by U. What is D by U? Remember? D by U, I asked you to remember. We have done it in simple microscope. M equal to D by U. What was M? Magnifying power or magnification of the simple microscope. So I said the eyepiece behaves as a simple microscope. So D by UV. UV is the object distance of the eyepiece. Distance of the object from the optical center of the eyepiece. So D by UV is the magnification of the eyepiece. So M equal to MO into ME. Okay. Now MO, since ME is written in terms of distances. Okay. ME is written in terms of distances. MO should also be written in terms of distance. What is MO? Distance, if you have to write, then image distance by object distance. Remember, magnification is given by V by U. So MO will be equal to V is positive, that is VO. Take this distance of the image formed by the objective lens from the optical center is VO. Okay, this distance is VO. Image formed by the objective lens, this is VO, and this distance is UO. UO is negative because it is on the left hand side of the lens, negative x-axis. Okay, so my VO by minus UO. So minus VO by UO into D by UE. This is the magnifying power of a compound microscope. Okay, minus VO by UO into D by UE. This is the magnifying power of a compound microscope. Now there are two cases to it. Case 1 is for clear distinct vision or normal adjustment, when the magnifying power will be the maximum. Now you already know. Is this going to change? Is this going to change? No. This is not going to change. We are not moving the image object in front of the objective lens, neither the image distance of the, neither this VO nor this UO is going to change. We are not moving this or this. What we are doing, we are just moving this eyepiece, which is acting as a simple microscope. We are moving this. How we are moving this? For normal adjustment or for maximum magnification, I want the final image has to be seen distinctly. Where should this be formed? Where should this be formed? Means how should I shift the lens such that the final image is formed at least distance of distinct vision, at D. Because the eye is very close to the lens, so I'm writing D from lens, from eyepiece to the final image, okay, taking that eye is very close to the lens. So the final image, that is VE, is at D. Understood? How should I change the eyepiece such that this image gets closer and closer to the optical center of the eyepiece and the final image is formed at D, least distance of distinct vision of the eye? Then only you will see the image most distinctly and clearly and big at the same time. Okay, big and distinct at the same time if the final image is formed at D. So V equal to D or VE, say image distance, image of the final image from the lens eyepiece is VE equal to D. And U equal to E minus U. Where is UE? U equal to minus UV and F equal to F. Okay, so let us use the lens maker's formula. 1 by V minus 1 by U equal to 1 by F. In the place of V, what I am going to put VE, and VE is equal to, I'm very sorry, V equal to minus VE equal to minus D. See, it's a virtual image and it is formed on the left side of the eyepiece on the negative x-axis. So it is minus D. Okay, this VE is minus VE. So V equal to minus D. Okay, V becomes equal to minus D. So 1 by minus D minus of 1 by minus UE equal to 1 by F, FE. F equal to FE, focal length of the eyepiece. So 1 by minus D plus 1 by UE equal to 1 by FE, or 1 by UE is equal to 1 by D plus 1 by FE, or D by UE is equal to 1 plus D by FE. Have we done this? D by U equal to, what is 1 plus D by FE? Remember 1 plus D by F? 1 plus D by F used to be the maximum magnification or normal adjustment of the microscope. So here for the eyepiece it is again 1 plus D by F. So the eyepiece, the magnifying power becomes the maximum magnifying power of the microscope minus V naught by U naught will remain the same. In the place of D by U, you are just putting 1 plus D by F. Same thing we have got, D by U, 1 plus D by FE. So 1 plus D by FE. Now for the relaxed eye. The final image will be at infinity. Okay, so use the lens maker's formula. Final image is at infinity, minus 1 by minus UE equal to 1 by FE, or 0 plus 1 by UV equal to 1 by FE, or FE equal to UE, or UV equal to FE, whatever. So magnification becomes equal to minus V naught by U naught. In the place of D by UV, I'm going to write D by FE. So this is the magnification and this is the minimum magnification, okay, when the final image is forming at infinity. Fine. For the final image to form at infinity, there is a diagram. For the final image to form at infinity, the image of the object should form at the first focus of the eyepiece. The image of the object should form at the first focus of the eyepiece. Let us draw it. And do you get this? D by Fe? Is this term similar to something that we have done for minimum magnification of the relaxed eye? D by F we have done, the relaxed eye. So it is the, say, this is the magnification of the ME, magnification of the eyepiece that is changing. And it is becoming similar, it is similar to that of simple microscope. The magnification of the objective lens, it's remaining constant. This is varying. Okay. Now, for this relaxed eye, when the final image is formed at infinity, let us draw the diagram again. This is the lens, objective lens. This is the first focus, FO prime. This is the second focus, FO. And the object is kept here. Now this will pass through, and here this will pass like this, should meet somewhere. It is meeting here. It is meeting at such a point that if you keep the eyepiece here, I should have kept it more far, whatever. And if this is the focal point, first focus of the eyepiece, then the image of this object, this is the objective lens. I hope I'm making myself clear. This is the object, this is the image, A prime, B prime. The image is forming at the first focus. What happens when image is formed at focus? Then this is the, then this is parallel and will go pass through the second focus, FE. This is FE prime, first focus, and another ray parallel to the through the optical center, and you can see these two rays will never meet. They are parallel. These two rays will never meet. You can see these two rays, they are never going to meet. Okay, even if you bring these two rays, and there has to be the ray signs, the ray arrows. Okay, if you bring these two rays also over here, if you make the convex lens bigger, eyepiece bigger, and if you bring it here, then these two rays are also parallel. They are parallel and they will also never meet. They will meet at infinity. Okay, so this will happen. This will happen only when they will meet at infinity. This will happen only when the image formed by the objective lens of the object is at the first focus of the eyepiece. Then the final image will be formed at infinity. Okay, this UE becomes equal to FE. UE becomes equal to FE, the focal length of the eyepiece. Okay. Now we are going to do one numerical and we will end with that. And another thing is the length of a compound microscope. The length of a compound microscope is this. VO is the VO plus UE. This is the length between the two lenses. But the length is mod of VO plus mod of UE, because UE is negative. So we are not going to take negative sign because it is the length after all, distance. So how can that be negative? So length mod of VO plus mod of UE. And for a compound microscope or the relaxed eye position, for the adjustment in the relaxed eye position, length of the microscope is mod of VO plus mod of FE. Because UE is equal to FE for the relaxed eye position. So these two are again important. Now we are going to do one numerical. Okay, we are going to do one numerical. Okay. the focal length of the objective and the eyepiece of a compound microscope. Focal length of the objective of a compound microscope is given 4 millimeter, and the focal length of the eyepiece of a compound microscope is given 25 millimeter. Okay, and the length of the tube is given 16 centimeter. Okay, so these are the information provided. The focal length of the objective lens is given 4 millimeter. The focal length of the eyepiece is given 25 millimeter. So I'm finally changing it into centimeter, 0.4 centimeter, 2.5 centimeter. And the length of the compound microscope is 16 centimeter. What is the length of a compound microscope? VO plus UV is equal to 16 centimeter. Okay. Now it is said that if the final image is formed at infinity, and the least distance of distinct vision, it is given 25 centimeter, you have to calculate the magnifying power. The final image is formed at infinity, so UE becomes equal to FE. So VO plus FE is equal to 16 centimeter. Okay, so 16 is equal to VO plus 2.5. So VO is equal to, have to calculate, VO is equal to 16 minus 2.5, that is giving me 13.5 centimeter. Okay, now what is the formula for magnifying power? Magnifying power is MO into ME. Okay, how we are going to find MO? MO is minus V naught by U naught. Now, do we have U naught? No, we do not have. We can find it out. How we are going to find out U naught? How we are going to find out U naught? Because for this, the formula goes like this: minus V naught by U naught D by FE. So U naught we are going to find out. We are going to apply lens maker's formula 1 by F equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U. 1 by F naught is given, is equal to 1 by V naught minus of minus 1 by U naught. U naught is forming on this side. U naught is formed. U naught is this. This is U naught. So U naught is negative, right? So minus of minus U naught. So 1 by V naught plus 1 by U naught is 1 by F naught. 1 by 0.4. So 1 by 0.4 equal to 1 by 13.5 plus 1 by U naught. If you solve this, 1 by 0.4 is coming 2.5. 1 by 13.5 is coming 0.074 plus 1 by U naught. So it is coming, this is coming 2.426 equal to 1 by U naught, or U naught is coming 0.4122. Now U naught you know from here, V naught you know from here, D is given 25 centimeter, FE is given 2.5. If you put all these values, what did I have written? MO into ME equal to, or this equal to, this is MO and this is ME. ME is D by FE, not 1 plus D by FE. 1 plus D by FE, ME is for the normal adjustment, maximum magnifying power. But here it is said relaxed state, that is VE is at infinity. Okay, so that's why we have taken UE equal to FE. So we know all the terms. So we know VO, that is minus 13.5 by 0.4122 into D is 25 into FE is 2.5, and you are getting the answer minus 327.5. This is the magnifying power. Okay. Thank you.